Yes, sirree. The time has come for the pastor to dominate on BGLC. That's what I'm seeing today. What up, what up, what up? BGLC moving up and looking good for the opening bell. And the pastor is ready. It looks pretty good. 946 pre-market highs. Although we are pulling back a little bit here. It looks like it's been fairly steady. Starting at 8 a.m. Nice couple of candles, consolidation, breakout, and then a big VWAP pullback before now recovering and, essentially making new highs here. Let's see. Can we hold up 840s, 830s, 820s? The VWAP down there is at 760, but it's quite a way down. Selling pressure looks all right. The selling pressure looks okay. By the way, don't forget our disclaimer. And damn, this white in the back, man. I don't know if this is going to work. The white in the back looking crazy. By the way, don't forget our disclaimer, right? Which is that day trading is risky business. Risky business. Maybe I swap these two, put the black over here on the accounts tab. Or do we rock out with it for now? Let's see. Let's drag this one over here. Gotta get the webcam looking smooth and clean. But then my head might be in the way at some point. Account. Hold up. Let me just make sure. Settings, configuration. I should have the asterisks, but just to be safe. Let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of that. We don't need the bid and the ask. Okay. Cannot account column accounts, or is it columns, account symbol, and type must be selected. And where did it go? Okay, that's fine. But get rid of the bid and the ask at least. Bid. So I don't know if I slept on my hand wrong or what, but I'm having like some muscle spasm here in my hand. My finger is like moving on its own. So I got to be careful with hotkey errors today. It's just as silly as that sounds. Silly as that sounds. Okay. I think we're good to go there. Good to go. So it's 9:20. We got 10 minutes to the opening bell. I'm just watching at BGLC and REPL for now. I can bring back the scanner just for a little bit, just so that people can see the gap scan. I didn't trade pre-market today again. It's not good. I'm wondering if maybe I'm developing a bad habit here. REPL. This is the third day in a row that I actually didn't trade pre-market. Yeah, I do have a foot pedal as well. Hollis, I'd recommend it honestly. If you're using hotkeys, it could be helpful, but it does take some getting used to. Especially if you're like constantly holding down on a hotkey, it's a little easier to do, I think. And you can maybe prevent yourself from getting early arthritis which, especially with my muscle spasm here in my fingers today, my left hand middle finger. Thank goodness I'm not in grade school anymore, or else the teachers would have been thinking I'm flipping them off. All right, boom. And then boom. Didn't miss anything from Nick. So I'm posting to the YouTube stream. I'm going to pull up the 10-second chart for BGLC. Now that we've had a good look at the gap scan here. The screen definitely looks a little, let me see. It looks a little awkward, but I guess that's fine. Maybe we pull this a little more centered here. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Behind here is just like the 5-minute chart behind this. But I also have it up top as well. In case we go to like single screen, it's at least there. So as you're tuning in, don't forget the disclaimer, which is that day trading is risky business, all right? Do not trade with money that you cannot afford to lose, all right? Do not trade with money that you cannot afford to lose. If this is your first time tuning into the channel, this is pretty big. You know, if you're looking to pay your mortgage here in the next couple of days, or your rent or whatever, and trying to make a quick one, this is not the place to do it. It takes months, more commonly years, to get good, to get consistent, and to see good results. And so slowest is the fastest way. Slowest is the fastest way. It takes time here in the markets, all right? Other than that, remember, copy trading does not work. Remember, as well, I do not invest for my subscribers, so be careful of fake accounts. I do not use WhatsApp. I do not use Telegram. Be careful of also now fake ads, stolen content of me and the team house being used for fake ads. So be careful, and if you do see those fake ads, help us out with reporting them, because sadly, I can actually, if I remember towards the end of this video, I'll show you guys one of the emails YouTube sent me, like just so you can see the type of mediocrity that we're dealing with, because something that should be so simple and easy for them to do, they're just telling me, hey, the best that we can do is that you will have to report these ads as you see them, essentially on a case-by-case basis, which is just quite sad, really, for a platform of this size. It's really disgusting, but I guess they're pretty comfortable with scams. That's the only thing I can see here, because nothing else could make sense to me for a situation like this. But here we are, right? And by the way, this is not a good idea. I got to pull this one on the other side. Unless I go to single screen here, maybe. Maybe I go to single screen, or else this is going to be blocked. So I can put it back on the right-hand side and have the white trades thing in the background instead. Honestly, single screen is easier for me, because having to update I don't use the 10-second chart as much. Having to update it does take time when I'm trading. So honestly, we could probably just have this off. I'll keep the scanners on. I mean, that'll be more helpful to me as well. I'll just keep the scanners on and then just go single screen. See, when you're doing YouTube, right? I mean, you got to definitely have everything configured, or else you can have accidents, and then you can also, you know, it can get into the way of trading in terms of the speed and time. At least these two screens are linked, this one and the one up above. So whatever I'm looking at there will be, you know, reflected down here. Okay, I think we're good to go. Good to go. 3 minutes, 50 seconds. BGLC is coming down a bit. REPL, on the other hand, you know, it's up 74%, 50 million shares of volume. It's been a slow grind up. Nothing super aggressive. We'll see if the open does change that, because at the end of the day, we're looking for aggressive moves in short time frames. If we're not seeing that, then we're on the sidelines. I really think that I'm done with Schwab, honestly, if I have to be super honest with the audience. From what we've been seeing, and people are still messaging me even today that their accounts got banned, so the time might be here where I just say to hell with platform. 3 minutes to go for the opening bell. And what's worse is that they're not even man enough to tell us. We know, I mean, I guess we know, but it's like the least you can do is just say it, you know. The least they can do is tell people like, hey, you're banned for this reason. Not the runaround that they're giving people when they call in. One guy was telling me he called in and it's like they're like not telling him anything. I was like, did you at least tell them that you're you know you're part of the Relentless trading team? Maybe they give you some slack. He's like, that didn't work either. Sometimes you gotta flash the FBI card, you know, the good old RT community card. You never know. We got 2 minutes to the opening bell. The reason here's the real reason. We've made money. We've made too much money. That's my only guess. As like a community, like, and not just like our community, but as in like small cap community. I think there's been too many traders that's done too well, and sometimes that's a problem, you know. That's the only thing I could guess, because nothing else could make sense. You know, just like the YouTube ad thing, right? It's like something, you know, 2 plus 2 equals 4, not some strange number like 782.91, right? 2 plus 2 is 4, and it's just that simple. So we have 2 minutes. We have a minute here. BGLC selling off. And there's been people who've gotten banned who they don't even trade like how we trade in terms of this strategy. They've just been making money, and their accounts got banned too. So if I'm gonna take a trade here again, I'm gonna wait for the dust to settle a little bit. I think just maybe wait like another month before I use Schwab again. Maybe just, you know, let this blow over just a little bit. But the fills of these other platforms are like the same, if not better. So it feels like the same thing. We just need to see some hot momentum is the key here. Can we see through 8? It's gonna reject. Worth a shot. New lows. Let me check out SGD here. SGD. How are we doing? By the way, I can move this thing over when I get a chance. SGD lows of, what's that, 170? High of 190. It's not a bad move off the lows for SGD. Right now, I'm kind of just watching to see which stock is going to be the stock. Don't forget, as you're tuning in, to hit the thumbs up. ELWS, there's a couple of them hitting. Let's see if this can give a bounce off this low. I'm watching here, tight stop. It's quite the pullback here, though, right? I mean, it's a bit of a retest of the lows. BGLC, by the way. BGLC. Hold up. Shit. What was that? 827 is the halt up. 835 now the halt up for BGLC. Red to green. Okay. Okay. Why can't I get out of this position? That is interesting. Whoa. Why? I'm holding 230 shares still. And it is rejecting my orders. Which is quite strange. Let me see if I can buy one share. What the hell was that? Okay. Well, I'm gonna miss the other one. Okay, I think that was like a bit of a glitch or something. Yeah, I think that might have been a glitch. Jeez Louise. I'm gonna miss the BGLC push though. I mean, being that it was 230 shares, I probably should have just left it and just looked at the other stock. Okay. Red to green, halted up. This is a nice candle down here. You know, sometimes for me, I do fall victim to like switching away too quickly. Kind of started looking at other ones, but over 740, up to 808, not bad. This pullback was nice here too, but anyhow, whatever that was just now was not good because like, you know, if you're in with like massive sizes where you can get in trouble. Let's say 5,000 shares on like a $10 stock that's like flying up and down. I want to say it was like a glitch or something. The way how my hotkeys are configured on a stock at that price, I should never have an issue getting out with that spread and that price. If it's like a massive spread, it's understandable. So resumption time. We have 1 minute 56 seconds to go. So in the next minute and 24 seconds, I'll be watching for the dip and rip. Can we resume higher, give an additional push, and then I'll be watching the pullback and then retest of the highs. If it opens up higher, that is. If it opens up lower, I'll be watching for the high of day trade. If it opens up sideways, it depends. The dip and rip could still happen, but we'll see if it like pulls back first or goes first. We got 40 seconds. $25 seconds. BGLC, no fear, no hesitation. I'll actually get rid of this level 2. What's that? 14 seconds. Okay. $8.44. Can we see that bounce? It might have double bottomed there. Son of a gun. Stopped out at a 90 or so entry, down at 70. So we got to dip first. The halt down is at 70. I'm going to size down just a little bit. Can we see a push? I'm back in at 96. $98 is the high. A halt is at 917. Oh, I'm getting some higher fills in some areas, which I despise. Yeah, like I'm getting some crazy fill, like right there. That's kind of crazy. Although I'm complaining less about the fills with this platform than versus Schwab, but you know, still. Bro, like it does this just freaking crazy. I think I know what I need to do though, but still kind of crazy to see. Okay. We might be retesting the lows here. I'm back in a little higher, which isn't ideal while watching. Oh, it's coming down. Yeah, it looks like it's like retesting the lows. So, you know, if we compare the stock to 2 days ago, we're not holding up. We had a new high and then we're like back down $1 share at the lows. So we're getting like a seesaw here. Christmas tree. Saying the lows are 55. This is more of what we've been seeing. Like, you know, this year rather than like an uptrend. It's like a small uptrend comes and then it's like back into the abyss. XBP. Halts is at 40. Don't forget if you're tuning in on YouTube to hit that thumbs up. XBP is halted up. VWAV from a few days ago pushing up a little bit. Resumption is going to be in 2 minutes 40 seconds. 2 minutes 30 seconds. 33 seconds. I don't know, VWAV, I think it needs more of a pullback, but it's also pulling back into the new candle, and oh, it's holding up though. It's 920s again. The halt is at 71. Minute 27 seconds. I can definitely get some better fills, bro. But we will take what we can get and watch the ride. Oh, I'm gonna miss that resumption. Doesn't really look like much anyways. We'll see. Time. What's the highs? 82. Time. If we zoom out on the 5 minute, how are we looking? Looking like it could be on to something here. 10:36 is the halt up. I don't know if it has what it takes, but if it looks really good, I could try here. Ah, bro. Well, it's fighting, all right. Time. I don't know what's up with my hands in these new like positions. Like my hands are like having trouble. I'm gonna have to go full foot pedal at this rate. XBP pushing up, but I have no interest in that one. How low can we go? Is always a question. Or, well, I don't know. Let's see. Okay. It is just going. Oh, that's tough. I should have sold everything. I don't know what my fill even was, but I should have just sold everything. I got to use more size because these pullbacks are actually holding. Where I'm expecting them to go lower, they're holding up. Oh my gosh. Time. Mm, not the best entry there. Alright, I'm taking losses trying to buy the highs, so waiting. I probably could have held that one longer, but yeah, I should have. Bro, fuck. Oh, man. It's definitely a little slow to go, like that breakout through 1020 there. Those are the type of trades you want to catch. Oh, no. Not good. Oh, what is that? It's another example where I know for sure I'm more than likely net green sense wise, and then red on the P&L on this stock. Well, I'm actually green, small green, bro. That's ridiculous. There's a lot of trades where I'm in looking for like to build the starter, and then like that's the actual bottom. So I'm like in with no size. XBP did well. XBP. I wonder if this is backside. It could be. One of these fills was good, the other one not so much. And I might have missed the dip. XBP looks like it has a double top as well. 230s. Haven't really connected on breakout trades on this one. Not sure if it's worth it back over the whole dollar. Could be. I still haven't looked at XBP at all. Not sure how it's like moving price action wise. It's trying at 30 again. It might be a false breakout. Okay, it's holding. And it's like it's clearing the level, but then back down, then back to it. Time to go short. It is struggling in a topping wick. What's it gonna be? Up or down? I'd love to see like 45, 50 if it's, gonna be able to hold. I saw like 40, it's saying 56. By the way, VWAV got back to 10. The breakout here not clean over 30. We're over the level twice, back below twice. Our current 5-minute candle's red. I got 225 as a daily level from way back. We're saying 94. We had like $2 as the low. There's no way that went to 94. Or am I blind? Yeah, that was good. That was good. VWAV going back up there to 1050. VWAV. Oh, VWAV coming down a bit. Lows are at 30 there. My fills are not making sense in some areas. Got caught in that flush there though. And back in with small size, looking to add. That was the bottom, not good. For VWAV. Forgot it was not on the screen. This thing might just go all the way to 12, man. Okay. Taking 70 a little bit more aggressively there. Maybe too soon. Watching. Bro, our candle is false failing here. So it's a rejection off the new high to 1150. Some of the dips are clean, others not so much. We had a little bit of size there. We did see a candlestick like this before, which was over here. In terms of the 5-minute chart. That one had bear flag and eventually curled back up. This time we'll have to see. Maybe we keep holding this area, it's possible. If not, perhaps new consolidation somewhere around the VWAP. New lows below this 10-20 level if it doesn't hold. The halt down is at 960, 959. XBP looks like it's pushing up again here. VWAY, well, VWAV rather, down to 10, but back up. So did it reclaim that 1020 level? Maybe. Thing on that breakout there. Or the shot. XBP. This one might take its time here to go. XBP, we got highs of 30s again and lows of 207. VWAV might just keep holding up. I mean, it's still, it's still kind of doing its thing. I think 1020 will probably remain a key level. 10, 20, and 10 at the whole dollar. And it's down at the whole dollar here actually. I think below here, it's where we might be like finished. Couldn't tell if there was a hidden buyer there or not. But we'll see. Even if it breaks down and reclaims, could be pretty good too. I can't believe, bro, this stock was like just, I can't believe it. I have had so many good winning trades for just small size, expecting the dips to just go lower. Do I need to take like a much more massive starter? I think so. Like I have 80 shares because of how I trade in pre-market, right? Of course, 80 shares we know is nothing. So when I throw out this position, it's just to, just kind of to base the trade. And then I'll just keep buying, buying, buying. And where I'm expecting us to pull back more, that happens to be the freaking bottom. So I'm not in with any size. Even on this trade here, watching to see if selling pressure will come at 10. Too late in determining that there might have been a hidden buyer there. So where I should be loaded up size and be in here up 50 cents in this trade, I'm in with nothing size wise. So gotta do a better job in that aspect because I'm not green still. I think on cents if I'm to like go through each trade. It's a 50-cent winner there that we need to slam some size. This BWAV is still holding up though. The breakout trade could be worth it if it plays out properly. But the way how it's been moving, maybe it might be slower. Gun, probably son of a gun. Of course, of course. Can we hold though? My ad is not quite where I would have wanted it. Can we see over? See, like right in these areas where it should be flying, man, it's like still the volume not quite where I'd want it to be. On VWAV. Yeah, rip over 11. Go, 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 go. The highs were 1150. What was that? 1125. Not quite 1150 yet. Holy mother lover. Did I get that fill? Please tell me I got that fill. I don't even think I'm in. Bro, that's... Wait, what was that? Let's see. Oh, bro, that's cooked, bro. That is cooked. That is sad. That is sad. Lovely, lovely. At least I didn't take 2,000 shares, because then I'd have got smoked. What is that? And that was pretty high fill, too. Was that like a 40, 50 cent loss? Come on. I wonder why I didn't get filled though. Should have gotten filled. I think it was. You see, I think that's. I mean, a market order there would have been problems because what's that? Well, that's telling me that I got filled at like I've been back in at like 1080 and took another loss trying to buy the dip. This damn stock, bro. Now it's gonna go watch. Unbelievable. What was yesterday's high? Like 12 something? It just feels so extended now, you know? Missing that dip. And at 80, can we hold? Somebody bought big there. Damn. I gotta figure out something with my hands. I think from leaning on the desk so much, my hand is cooked. Completely and utterly cooked. This thing wants to go for new highs versus the prior days. I think we had like 12 something. I gotta double check. My fills are complete trash, man. Complete abomination. Complete abomination of fills. Is this it? I didn't take it, but it was. Bro, 76, bro? What? That's not the ask price, bro. I'm getting filled above the ask here too. Oh, that is sickening. Maybe the ask price moved up and I looked away. Maybe. Bro. I had to bring on my Denzel Washington voice, man. You think you can do this to me? Like what is that? Take me to 1250 already, all right? Come on. Like you know you can. Soar and fly. Oh god, that is not 1250. All right, hell with the stock, man. Oh, you son of a gun, you son of a gun, you. Bro, I'm waving the white flag here. Every nice trade, then there's like that surprise flush out like that. Come on. Waving the white flag. And it just feels like such a nice stock though, you know? And yet we are red on it. Down 296 on this ticker. And red 700 on a day. Brother. These damn flushes. 1180 to 1090. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. The problem is these pullbacks that are coming in areas where volume is coming in for a new high. And now we flush out maybe big sellers or something. Save selling 100,000 shares. Stock Titanicing 90 cents. Oh, man. It's moving like this though. This is the style it's been moving, so should have already adjusted to it, to those bigger drops, and to be more prepared to take that entry. Waving the white flag. I think I'm making too many mistakes. I'm making too many mistakes. That's my problem here. There's no way that I should not be green on a stock like this, on a day like this, because I had all the right entries and all the wrong size. So, got to do a better job of the analysis, knowing and understanding we're closer to the lows, so that I can be in, with a little bit more size. Red 700. So, got to be a little bit more precise and accurate. Doesn't look like we'll get to 1250. I don't know. It's pulling back. But I am locking up shop and walking away. Or every time I go from like down 700 to down 250, 300, wherever I got, that loss came. Boom. Like 4 times today. So I'm out like south. Out like south. Ah, man. Good old day trading. Let me see what the YouTube stream is looking like. We got 466 people still here. The 1 minute trader. Hey, 1 minute trader looks like he's been pretty consistent, man. Way to go. Way to go. How does Save trade? Save's selling 100,000 sides, causing this big drop right here. That's how he's trading. Causing me to not get the breakout to 1250, brother. Dropping a bomb on our heads here in this move down. Shout out to Save, of course, I'm just joking around here, right? Mighty Stocks YouTube's channel has been swiped. So he's no longer uploading to YouTube. He's gonna make a return maybe in a week's time on the second channel that he has. Whenever that time does come, we'll post the links here so you guys can tune in to check out his recap and his trading the last, I guess, week and a half or so. But yeah. It has been such a slow year here. I don't know. This stock was good enough though. I think, again, I got to be a little bit better with just being a little more aggressive and in determining, being a little bit more aggressive and then also determining the dip and where we're basing out. I think the one at 10 especially, I think I could have done a better job because I'm thinking, do we have a hidden buyer there? It's like the moment you even think that there might be a hidden buyer there, you just have to just hit the buy button, right? Rather than trying to wait and see for more selling. Stuff like that, it's like too late because within like 3 seconds, we're going to be back at like 10:20, 10:30. Areas like that are too key to miss the trade. His YouTube channel is deleted, swiped into the depths, into the abyss. So I think it has been banned. I think someone reported his channel. For what reason, I have no idea, but sadly it's deleted. So the Mighty is no more until he starts to upload on his second channel, which he does have one, and I think next week or maybe the end of this week he'll upload like a recap. So if he doesn't upload by the end of this week, I think Monday or over the weekend he'll upload. You know, people will report your channel for whatever reason, right? I think it's because he would be green and then he would like make a post about the thumbnail about, like a big loss he took throughout the course of the day. So, there's some clickbait there. I guess we all do a little bit of clickbait, and his channel got sent into the abyss. Something like that is what he said. I think whenever he goes live, he'll like explain it in better detail. Seems pretty silly to me, but there's sillier things going on. So, there's a saying that goes like, truth is stranger than fiction. And a good example is the fake ads that are being used from the Team House content. And YouTube still has done nothing about it, despite me emailing them so many times. Truth is stranger than fiction. The fact that I tried to run ads with those same content and been blocked because, hey, this is get rich quick content. Hey, this is, whatever craziness they came up with. And then here are people running ads with my own content, stealing it, scamming people, and they're doing nothing. So if your channel gets deleted and you're doing nothing wrong, then, that's just the world we live in, right? It's just another day in the chaos of what it seems goes on from time to time. There's a lot of great people, a lot of good things, which can sometimes go a little unnoticed. So we definitely want to make sure to mention that. There's a lot of good people, a lot of great people, but definitely sometimes it seems like the negative things that people do can definitely eclipse some of the good things that are happening. But, it's definitely not the case. There's still a lot of good things going. But hopefully, platforms like YouTube and Meta can tighten up a little bit, get a little bit better back end to be able to prevent things like this. Because, just imagine at least like 50 people every day are getting scammed, right? I mean, who knows? I don't know how aggressive they're paying for these ads, how much money they're spending, what they're getting people to sign up to. Maybe they're stealing people's credit cards. I mean, I have no idea. And it's terrible because we're here like sending them emails and talking with the live support. Imagine you're working at live support at YouTube and then you just send us a link to try to report the video as copyright, when the way how the video is being ran through an ad, your system cannot pick it up as a copyrighted video, as if someone re-uploaded it to a channel. And you explain this to them and they still just send you the link. Hey, shout out to YouTube for this craziness. So it's the crazy world we live in these days, right? The P&L is down 700. I think the key is to watch on and just listen in. In terms of teaching, right? Here's the truth about teaching. Here's the truth, right? The game is to be sold, not told. All right? You can't just watch a YouTube video here and expect to learn everything that myself, Marcelo, or any other trader in the world knows. We have students, we have like a whole platform over there in terms of like course and teaching for a reason, right? If we come here and just give everything away for free, then it doesn't make sense. It's not fair for us. It's not fair for the students. It just is quite silly to do for many reasons, right? So if you're somebody watching here thinking that you're going to just get everything for free, this is just me being honest and straight. I'm not being like aggressive or disrespectful or anything, but I'm just being transparent. Like this is why people tune in. You can learn over time. You're going to get bits and pieces of information, but in terms of like learning everything at once from like a recap or, a live stream, it's not going to happen. That's just being honest, right? But it's why when we mention the course, we do talk aggressively, because everything is in the course from A to Z. Any student can tell you this. Like there's nothing there that's like that we haven't done or do every day, right? Through thick and thin, green and red, we have raw videos of us trading there with like nothing held back. On the days where we're up 20, 30,000, those videos are there. People can go and watch to see every single trade from start to finish on that day, to see what we did right, what we did wrong. There's like a library of archives is what we call it. Videos from myself, the other mentors, nothing held back. And there's no other community. I can confirm that there's no other community that does that. Nobody else does that. Nobody else does that. Nobody in this trading field does that. They never will. They never have. They'll never do it. Only the real deal can show the people what's going on. So, when they started to ban our accounts, right, and people on Twitter started talking crazy, it's why I had to come on here and remind them that the pastor was the creator. And so ultimately, because we invented this strategy, we can choose to do what we want with it, right? Even if I decide to show everything for free here today, although it'll be unfair to myself and the students, if I decided to do that, I could, because we invented this, right? We invented this style of trading here. And a lot of people are not happy about it because, if you get into psychology, well, one, let's say the market makers are not happy because we have destroyed them. I'm just being honest here. We have destroyed them to the point where they're like banning people's accounts, which is why I'm taking it easy on this platform here anyways. At the end of the day, this is a zero-sum game. The brokers know it. The market makers know it. Everybody knows it. But when it comes down to who's losing, right? Who's losing? That's the question here. Somebody's on the other side of I'm down 700 today, which means somebody else somewhere, maybe a group of people, one person, an institution might have made 80 bucks from me. An individual trader might have made 100 from me, and then it adds up to 700, right? So who's losing, right? And why is it that some people are not going to allow themselves to lose, even though it's a fair game? You know, these are questions that are important, right? So I don't care who's listening, because at the end of the day, we all know, like anybody who knows what's going on knows this. So this is why I'll talk this transparently here. Like, this is not a secret. It's never been a secret. Somebody will lose on the other side of the trade. And so, you know, if a guy from Wall Street is smiling with my 700 bucks today, I understand, you know, but it definitely is a little weird when, you know, your account gets blocked and they are not able to tell you why, right? We know why, but they should still be able to say it. They can put some hair on their chest and say, you know, we're banning accounts with this particular style of trade because such and such, and not try to be so secretive about it. So, you know, Schwab and these platforms, the market makers, ultimately our order flow will be sold. And here's the real interesting part. Our order flow will be sold to these people for them to place trades against us, because so many retail traders are losing, right? So they're winning all along, at every day, at every time, because majority of traders, 9 out of 10 traders, are losing on a daily basis. So they'll take our order flow and then, you know, place the opposite trades essentially. So when you're doing well, instead of placing a trade with you, I guess their business model is to place trades against you. So if you're doing too well, then, you know, you got to be careful. It's like if you go to a casino and then you're just like too good at blackjack, the casino is going to ban you eventually because they're not making money off of you. And, you know, I guess it's business, right? It's business, brother. So again, I can only talk like this because I'm the inventor and the creator, the sire, the overseer, the overlord, the alpha, the omega. I'm joking here a little too, but, you know, it is true at the end of the day. I hope the audience doesn't get too pissed at this, because, you know, I think it's a little fun at least. I keep it hush hush because the game is to be sold, not told. All right. The game is to be sold, not told. But the people love free. Everybody loves free, and we understand that. I gave away a full course before, I think twice, to 2 lucky people. Hopefully they've utilized it well. I know Dash has utilized it well. Shout out to Dash. Really good student there in the chat room. Big Steve, right? I am the Oracle. I am the Phoenix King, the inventor, the creator, the pastor. Black Jesus. And Marcelo is Spanish Jesus. Or should I say Jesus? Okay, I'm gonna stop. The rant is over. Back to trading, back to the closing statements. So we're down 700 and we're calling it a day here. Some guy on Wall Street has 700 bucks in his pocket smiling. You got to make a couple of jokes every now and again, all right? just to keep it cool. And hopefully nobody's like reporting the channel because of that. Because that would be crazy. Ay. Okay. But you know, I think ultimately trading is still trading. Like this stock was good. We could have done better to end green on it, right? BGLC on the other hand, I think that one was a little bit more tricky for us. If we pull up the chart, we got caught. I should have known to not touch this because, you know, it was too much of a retracement. We first missed this move by looking away, right? So he showed up like maybe right here. And let's see, what was the low? 780. This is around 934. 934. $934. So I didn't take a trade till 940. So yeah, this is a problem here, right? Like I'm just way too late to this thing. And I was watching it SGD. We took a trade here 36, and then we might have switched over. So 36. Let's look at the 1 minute. Why? Okay. 36. Okay, there's a halt. I see. Okay, there's a halt in here. Oh, okay, I remember. We were kind of flat, and then the halt was, we opened up, we dipped. We took a fairly good trade here. We got a higher fill, buying the lows around 8. And we had lows of 77. I'm in at 8, but I got filled at 811. And then it retested the low of 77. I stopped out at the double bottom. A bit of a close one. It does curl back up. Fair trades here. Fair trades. And from 770s, we got up to a high of 898. The pullback comes and does not hold. This is, I think, like this stock right here looks very similar to the stocks we saw 2 days ago that did really well. But it's like right here is where those stocks would hold up, right? Instead, this is just comes right back down to the lows and then sells off completely. So we're not getting that like 50% retracement hold and then, you know, a new high or retested highs. So this wasn't great. Well, yeah, in terms of how I'm doing, you know, I'm doing fine. It's been a slower year, but we've already made enough on the year to like cover all of our bills, right? Like between this and like the other income that I have, like I've already made enough to like not do anything else on the year. But with that being said, there's still the opportunity cost of not making more money, right? Like in this, I have to upload the trader view, and I got to figure out how to upload from Guardian. I got to figure out how to upload from over there, but it's like we're in this sideways rut for the longest here. Let's pull it up. Let's see, reports, and then cumulative, or was it win-loss expectation? Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. No, report. I think it's in reports. Sometimes I forget where to go on this thing. Okay, reports and then detail. That's where you gotta go. Reports and then detail. And then you gotta come down to win-loss expectation. And this dangerous sideways rut right here. Calling it dangerous because it's supposed to be going up at all times. And then I gotta add a minus, like I gotta add minus 6,000 to this. So I'm like still in this. If we can zoom in some more, even. Am I on single screen? Let me double check. Okay. It kind of looks a little clunky. Yep, we're in this sideways consolidation. And so right now, let me bring up the drawing tool. We're a little bit more towards like the lows here after the 6K goes in. So we're in this sideways consolidation. One of the longer ones since October of 2020. Since October of 2020. So here's the drawdown. We recovered. We had a successful trader rehab right here. We recovered nicely. We had some nice days. And then we had some losses on TD. Switched over to DAS right here in this area. Not DAS. We switched over to Guardian right here. And then we lost 4K in the first 2 days. 1,400 the first day. Working out the Kings. Second day, we lost 2K on a halt resumption trade where I took size twice on the dip. Got murdered both times for like over $1 share, 2,000 shares. Something close to that. And so now it's like it puts us right back down in here in the drawdown. I gotta import. I'll figure out how to import here. So now we're in a trader rehab again. To curl back up. Trader rehab. This was the drawdown from years ago. It doesn't really even show in this chart, but it was right here. Like 5 or 6 months in this area. And then now we've had a few others like here. You know, more so like a month and a half. Like right here as well. Here just a little bit before the move up. And then this being one of the bigger drawdowns at the top. Or let's say sideways consolidation. 10K, 12K. As we know, this can be one good day. So which is why I'm saying I haven't really lost any money. But we haven't been seeing the consistent green that we're used to. The consistent green. Ay, 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 ay. I thought I was going to make $1 million this year. But don't let next year come and be good. Because if next year we dare to see the same type of follow through, man, I am ready. I am ready to fly. I'm ready to just bathe in the parade of green that is to come. Into the sea and the ocean. I'll be swimming with the whales. Once again. We will ascend to new heights. There's a very specific type of momentum that I like to trade. You know, 2 days ago was a great example of what it looks like. Today, we saw it to a fair degree, although we had some bigger pullbacks on VWAV. We had it in there. We just needed to be more aggressive towards the earlier trades. We made a lot of sense, just not with size. Being too slow and expecting too much confirmation, I think. So you just gotta get in there and you know, take the trades. Be firm. And if it stops us out, it stops us out, right? Our stop will be the same regardless. Our stops will be the same regardless. Our biggest green day has been 26,000. Our biggest red day, I think, has been like 5,000. If this year's momentum was the exact same as last year's momentum, I would have made over $1 million already. I just know. Because every one of those days where I made like 3K is a day where I caught at least a 50-cent move. Most of those days. Some of it was more gradual, but most of those days I caught at least a 50-cent move with like 1,500, 2K, maybe 3K shares. That same trade, those same exact trades would have been with 20,000 shares this year. And they come so frequent when things are holding up and doing well. Is there risk? Would we have had like a day of down 20K here and there? I think guaranteed. But with the overwhelming amount of consistency that we're seeing from these stocks and just the sheer follow through of holding up, easy million, bro. Like right now, I feel like a camper. Like I'm just waiting. Like I'm just camping out and just waiting. Like the day it's back consistently is the day that I make $1 million. Like not in one day, but you know, like over time. So we will continue to wait patiently here. But still on a stock like this, we got to be in with more size to capture that move better. There's no excuse for that still. You got to still be accountable, right? Good old day trading. It's quite the field, though. Our worst month has been $8,000 in the red, which is quite heavy in the red, actually. It's like freaking frustrating just to see like a red month. Like it just hurts my heart to see a red month, but I understand what it is. This is May of this year here. Hurts my heart to see a red month, brother. Knowing how, I don't want to use the word easy, but knowing how steady this could be just to the green side when everything is clicking nicely. But it is, you know, business at the end of the day, right? You'll have the cycles, the ebbs, the flow, and you know, even sometimes the better businesses can have a slower period. El Pastor taking the loss here. 4K in one day. Massive red. Massive. 1,200, 1,800, 3.5. 3 big losses. To prevent this, you got to size down much quicker, much earlier, much sooner. Sometimes you have the confidence that you'll be able to get a good couple of trades, like a string of good trades. And you can even feel in rhythm with the stock too. But then you still end up taking losses. Green and then red here, and then, you know, not a good week, not a good week, not a good week. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I think this is where I'll shut it down. For those of you going the distance till 4 p.m., stay disciplined, stay safe, stay green. Keep an eye out on the scans maybe in case something else comes up. I'll catch you guys in the next one. In the chat room here, we got some mixed results. We got some mixed results here in the chat. You got some red, you got some green. So small red there, small green here, or good green, let's say 1500, depending on where they are, which size. Pastor, Zay, I think Zay red today. Yeah, Big Steve held it down though. Big Steve held it down. Alan had a good day. Tim saying max loss minus 2.3. Spooky, small green with a small size. Beast mode. Green day today. Hollis. And shout out to Hollis, by the way. Hollis also getting it done. Dynasty getting it done. Alice getting it done. I'm not even sure how to say this name. But green, small green. Reduced size it looks like too. Fat and sweaty. No, this is an interesting name here. But anyhows, yeah, we had some like mixed results in the chat. Some people green, some people red, and this is into yesterday. Shout out to Dash. Nice day here yesterday. And also showing with holding some small positions on large caps and showing how insane large caps can be, because being up this much on these 8 and 10 share positions are it's pretty insane. Large caps, man. I never believed you could make so much with large caps, because it just felt like the companies are so big that, how much more can they really grow? But when you have these pullbacks where they dip for no good reason and they're at a discount and then they curl back up, man. Let's see, Nvidia, sweet Nvidia at 178. Apple, not so much. They've been a little bit more sideways. Netflix, I think it was Carl Icahn, or was it Bill Ackman? One of those guys had mentioned that they bought at 200 back in these times here. And this was, there's risk, right? Because again, look at this. From 680s down to 200. This reminds me of United Health Group here. Is it UHG? We'll come back to Netflix. UHG. No. United Healthcare. Dang, what's the name of this ticker? Let me check. UNH. Okay, that's what it is. UNH. I mean, this one was also pretty tough. I think they might have had earnings recently too. I actually got to look at that. I want to look at that balance sheet. But they're down significantly here. I mean, risk is risk everywhere, right? There's risk. But anyhow, Netflix, even Meta had its pullback too. I mean, Tesla had its pullback. And I mean, what a red to green. Let's check the percentage here. Segment. So back in these lows to now, to the highs, 700%, man. Just unbelievable. 700%. The moment you have money, it's the moment you can start to invest and stand a chance. If you don't have money, like disposable income, money that you do not need to pay your personal expenses, once you have your emergency fund, you know, you have you're debt free, you have no consumer debt, and you just have that cash on the side that you don't need. You already have your regular savings. Is where you can take on some risk much more comfortably. See, back in these days, Pastor had no cash. Barely had some cash to my name back here. But now, give me this sweet dip today, please. I don't even need 700%. Give me 300%. Whatever I can get. I mean, even like 50%, honestly, like that alone is like insane. For the people that hold these companies for years, though, it's pretty impressive because if I'm someone who's in a stock like this, especially early, that like $5, $10, and we get up here to like 300, 400, it's so hard to not sell. Like, how do you not sell this, right? I mean, this is insane to think that people might be in from like $10, $20, $50 and never sold. That's I mean, you know, I guess you really have to be into the fundamentals super long term, right? Believing in the company, trusting in the company. Because if I'm there like $20 and this thing is hitting 300, 400, man, I mean, I'd probably hold some, not sell all, but I gotta at least take 70% of that off the table. But then imagine not selling and then selling at the bottom of this. You know, at least one person got caught like that, and that's tough. Like, hey, you know what, man? This thing's down 80% off the highs. Yeah, I might be in at 100, but I'm gonna sell at 200. Let's see, Google, Meta, and of course they'll have very similar charts because they're all like, you know, following the SPY in itself. SPY is probably the safest bet whenever there's a massive dip. SPY is doing its thing. SPY is doing its thing. Maybe we go up to like closer to 700 and then we get another massive dip. There's going to be another dip because that's just how the world works. There's going to be some sort of turmoil, some sort of uncertainty that creates another dip. And for us as the traders and investors, we'll have to do our due diligence. And I think the only thing is for me is just determining that the dip is not a depression. If it's a recession, if it's a prolonged pullback, you know, who cares? All we have to do is just dollar cost averaging, right? Myself, I just have to dollar cost average in slowly over time. But if it is a recession, a depression rather, and we're like going from like 700 down to like, you know, 200, that's where we have to be careful not to start buying like too soon. Because if we're buying at like 400, even if you're maybe averaging in slowly, by the time it's down to 200, your average could still be pretty high, maybe like 350s or like 300, depending on how you're averaging in. And then you got to wait like months, not months, years, more than likely to recover. This is typically only high risk, or let's say really high risk if you're about to retire. If you have like another year till you're retiring, another 5 years, then you got to be extremely careful because you don't have the time to wait for the return, you know. But if you're young, even if you're in at like 350 or 300, let's say, and you know we have lows of like 200, 190 on the SPY, and you know we know in another 5-10 years we're going to be back at 600-700. It's like, who cares? Because it's money that you don't really need. It's cash that's just there that you don't need because you already have your emergency savings. You have no debt. You can just, you know, watch the ride and just keep buying, really. So Pastor is well prepared now for the next dip. I mean, this was a great one here. We can't complain about this dip. Now it's time to wait for the next one. I did sell my SPY at 580s, which was too early. Definitely too early. 580s or 590s, I can't remember. We're at 630s. That's definitely way too soon I sold. And you know, what's interesting is that interest rates have not been getting lowered as of yet. And when the interest rate starts to go down, and you know, really and truly, if I'd followed my plan to the T, I wouldn't have sold because, you know, that's one of the factors there, right? Like when interest rate starts to go down, more than likely we're gonna see more. You know, the market is gonna perform better, right? As companies can borrow for cheaper, etc. And you know, you'll kind of get that rising tide lifting all ships. And then, you know, after a little bit of time into that frenzy, then it's like, okay, time for me to get out. Paper hands to trade, selling at 590s or wherever I sold. Paper hands. Paper hands. So maybe this keeps going, right? And then finally something happens in the world economy where we get a good dip again. Good old SPY. Good old SPY. All these companies are not equal though. Some companies are definitely performing better than others. A company like Tesla, a bit more volatile. You got companies like Nvidia, a little bit more stable with that uptrend. You know, if you're looking at the earnings, some companies are like right here, right now. Other companies are like, you know, future value. I mean, we'll see though. A lot of these sci-fi movies can sometimes give you an insight of what the future could look like. We always assume that the change is not going to happen if we're like old-fashioned, but you know, the change is happening right before our very eyes. I mean, who would even something as simple as Uber, right? I'm pretty sure people are so used to taking taxis, but something as simple as Uber and, you know, them having that vision of understanding how much people are using their cell phones and how much they're relying on it and how much more comfortable and easy it might be for someone to use their cell phone to book a taxi rather than, you know, doing it the old-fashioned way. And then also you're able to employ people, getting more jobs out there. People are able to use their personal vehicles. And because they have the big money, they can bend rules of what a taxi driver should be qualified to do, right? In terms of qualification. I'm pretty sure back in the days, these people had to take a course or something. I think, like in New York City, Manhattan. And, you know, they got that massive union there. And then Uber just comes in, bing, bang, boom. And now it's being used for DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub, and all these other ways, shapes, and forms. A stranger comes and picks you up, you're pretty comfortable. And then now it's going to be nobody driving, which is why a company like Tesla is even where it is, despite not performing well, because people are betting on the future, you know. But we'll see. Will it work out? Maybe. Will it be Tesla? Will it be another company? Will it be something else? Right now it seems like it's going to be Tesla, but it could be another company, right? Where a car comes and pick you up and there's nobody in the car. Waymo is doing it to a degree as well. So, you know, this is what the stock market is about. So we'll see how far it goes. when I'm 80 years old, 90 years old, and I have arthritis in my fingertips, and I'm looking to still place a trade or two, and in those days and times is where we'll see what the market is really about. Still have a lot of months and years and decades to go. So we'll be here. We'll be here tomorrow. We'll be here the next day after that. We'll be here till we die. Oh, man. Okay, take care. Stay safe. Stay green. But it will be interesting to see, though, when I'm like older, like old, to see what the market really, where we are and how much we've progressed and the new crazy companies that are going to come and shake things up. Because best believe there's going to be new companies, even companies that exist now that are small, that are going to take off like missiles and rocket ships. And we're going to be here to ride the wave and capture some nice swings. I can see it already. Jody, I can FaceTime Marcelo if you guys want. If you guys want to hear the Mighty's voice. For those of you who are missing the Mighty. If you guys vote for it, I'll do it. If you guys vote for the FaceTime with the Mighty. Oh my gosh. Right now I'm using Guardian and Sage. Those are going to be the two platforms that I use, as they're a little cheaper. All right, I'll FaceTime the Mighty. Hold up. Actually, I can call him through. Hold on, I could call him through a chat room. Actually, bring his video and audio on. I wonder if he's still. I don't know. He might. Let me see if I can get on to him. He could still be trading. My hands, something is wrong. I don't know if I slept on my hands, man. Something is. My hands are kind of cooked. You know when you sleep on your hands and you get that that electric shock? I'm getting that for the last 2 hours. For I'd say like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like at a 2. It's not like bad, but it's what is going on here. The Mighty might still be trading. I think he might still be trading. I think he might still be trading. They want to see his beautiful face. That's why. Oh man. Okay. I think that'll do it. Yeah, we're not using Lightspeed because there's other platforms out there too. Cheaper platforms with the same speed. Now, if Lightspeed calls me on the phone and signs me with a max contract and say, hey, RT, use our platform and we'll sponsor the next trading team house, that maybe I might consider Lightspeed. I don't know. Because the other platforms are cheaper, right? If I'm to use a more expensive platform, there needs to be like something that makes sense for me, you know? If they say we'll take care of the bills at the next team house, which will be about 30,000 in fees. A team house trip averages about 30,000. Yeah, about 30,000, right? If they want to say, "Hey RT, hey RT, we will take care of the next team house," which we're thinking might be in Spain. We still, honestly, there's no date for the next team house right now. We're kind of still deciding and talking about it, but we're thinking Spain maybe. The options are Spain, Brazil, and Greece, and or maybe UK, somewhere in UK. We might even consider Mexico as well. I'm honestly, I really would like to go to the east, right? Anywhere in Europe, anywhere in Asia. I'm very, very open to that, but you know, we'll see. Maybe we spin a globe and then just point at we'll probably spin the globe and just point at a location and then just go. At this rate, anything. Yeah, the team houses are expensive for sure. We probably could like ease down on like the expense, but the boys, they have exquisite taste. And the way how the team houses are structured, I'll pay for everything up until the end of the trip. Then you know, like a week later, the guys will like reimburse me. So every team house, I'm like in a drawdown, like I guess it's not a real drawdown, but it's like a drawdown of some sort. But this is what you can do when you have a team of people that you have zero doubt in. You know, have you guys ever seen like those small girl trips where they like go to like Miami or one of those places, and it's like a disaster? Trading has liberated us. It has taken us to new heights. It's insane what we can do, really. Like we can just pack a bag today and go anywhere. Although most of the times we'll be at like at our base location. You can like pack a bag and like trade from anywhere, really. And vacations are honestly not that expensive outside of the United States. Here it's a little bit more pricey because, you know, it's the States, right? Queens? Which part of Queens are we talking about? I was in Queens yesterday, man, or on Sunday. I was in Queens on Sunday. Queens is my backyard. There's a function that I went to in Queens, an event. Queens. All right, I'm out of here. It's getting closer to 12. It's time to leave. Stay safe, stay green. Hit the thumbs up if you have not already. I'll catch you guys later. Dubai would be interesting too. Although I hear there's a lot of rules there. Catch you guys later. Stay safe, stay green. Fast doors out like south.